Mistlands AI horror done tonight. We descend. We leave behind the familiar terrors of the surface, the shadows in the forest, the whispers in the snow, and plunge into a darkness that is not empty, but crowded. We journey to the sun-baked mountains of Greece, not for their myths of gods and heroes, but for an older, hungrier story. A story that doesn't end with a monster's death, but with the world's unmaking. This, the legend of the Kallikantzaroi. Picture not the Greece of white beaches, the remote, stony villages of the north. Here winter brings a sacred, anxious silence for 12 nights, from Christmas to the Epiphany. For 12 nights, the gates are locked, not against the cold, but against what the cold unleashes. According to the oldest folklore, during these nights, something is released from the deep places. Small, black, and infinitely patient things. They are the Kallikantzaroi. They are not demons in the biblical sense. They are simpler, and in that simplicity, more terrifying. Imagine creatures no taller than a child, hunched and wiry, with skin like soot and eyes that burn with a dim, ruddy light. They are the personification of chaos, of entropy, and they have one purpose, one obsession passed down through eons, to destroy the willow tree. The legend says that far beneath the earth, a colossal tree holds up the fabric of reality. Its roots are pillars of creation. The Kallikantzaroi spent the entire year in the darkness, sawing, gnawing, scraping at those roots with crude, rusted tools. They are almost successful every year. But on Christmas Day, the birth of Christ miraculously heals the tree, forcing the goblins back to their starting point. Enraged, they swarm to the surface, their 12 nights of freedom taken out, their frustration on humanity. They sour milk, break tools, steal livestock, and whisper madness into the ears of the sleeping. Our focus is not on an ancient shepherd, but on a modern mind. Dr. Elena Petrakis, a brilliant Greek-American seismologist, in the winter of 2019. She led a team to a cluster of villages in the Pindus Mountains, plagued by a series of tiny, inexplicable tremors quakes that registered on no global scale, but shook the foundations of local homes. The data pointed to a vast, unnatural hollow deep beneath a specific hill. One locals refused to even name. Elena, driven by science, ignored the warnings. She set up her array of sensitive ground-penetrating scanners. On the first night of the 12th Christmas Eve, her machines lit up, not with the slow grind of tectonic plates, but with a rapid, rhythmic scraping. The sound like a million tiny saws rising from the deep. Her thermal cameras pointed at a fissure. Her drilling had accidentally widened, captured fleeting shapes, small, odd signatures moving with frantic, coordinated purpose. That night, things began to go wrong. Her computers glitched, displaying not data, but intricate, impossible carvings of twisted trees. Her core samples, tubes of ancient rock, were found cracked open from the inside. And outside her trailer, in the fresh snow, were hundreds of tiny, clawed footprints, all leading in a perfect circle around her site. The villagers told her she had woken a little darkness, and that it was now studying her. The final report is a masterpiece of code. Scientific language is straining against the unbelievable. Lena's notes describe a collective, low-frequency vocalization that induced migraines and vivid hallucinations of a collapsing sky. Her equipment is systematically dismantled, not by force, but by the precise removal of single, critical screws and bolts. On the morning of January 6th, the Epiphany, it all stopped. Tremors ceased, the scratching vanished. Lena packed and left, her data corrupted, her theory in ruins. But one item was logged as missing from the inventory. A single core sample, designated K7, taken from the deepest lair, directly above the subterranean hollow. The case was closed. However, a personal email to a colleague sent months later was leaked. In it, Elena confessed that after returning to her lab in Athens, she found a single, black, thumb-sized tooth not mineral, not bone in her desk, and that every night since, she hears the faint, distant sound of sawn wood is coming from the walls. So, what are the Kallikantzaroi? Are they literal creatures, or are they a metaphor for the ancient, knowing fear that the world is fragile? That order is a thin crust over chaos. They represent the terror not of what attacks us, but of what is always, patiently working to undo the very stage upon which we live. They are the entropy that myths were created to hold at bay. We lock our doors for 12 nights, not to keep them out, but to pretend we are not part of the structure they seek to fill. If the thought of those endless, scraping sounds in the dark has gotten under your skin, then you understand the truth, meaning of ancient dread. Subscribe and ring the bell. Our map of horror is far from complete, because next time, travel from these deep, collective fears to a very personal vengeance, to the misty roads of Central America, where a beautiful face can hide a punishment as old as betrayal itself, or where the wrong you commit will find you and show you its true face. The story of La Cibor awaits. Until then, listen to the walls and laugh at the silence. This is Mistlands saying bye.